que se te...
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Luis Aviña, and today I'll be introducing you to this special event. The Global Chair at the Cooperative University of Good Living welcomes you to introduce Sumire Watanabe Kanda from Tokyo, Japan, who will present a cooperative approach to immigrants in Japan. This will take place within the framework of the Global Alliance for Education for Alternative Economies for Life, leading up to the 2026 World Social Forum in Benin, the 2026 Pre-World Social Forum on Transformative Economies in Mexico, and the 2027 Forum of Sustainability and Market in Argentina. So, without further to say, I would like to give the word to Claudia and Leticia, who will now introduce us in Spanish. Thank you very much.
Desde la Cátedra Global de la Universidad Cooperativa del Buen, Vivir, damos la bienvenida a Sumire Watanabe Kanda de Japón Tokio, quien va a presentar un enfoque cooperativo de los y las migrantes en Japón. Será en el marco de la Alianza Global por la Educación para otras Economías, para la Vida, rumbo al Foro Social Mundial de Benin 2026, Preforo Social Mundial de las Economías Transformadoras 2026 de México y Foro Social Mundial de Economías Transformadoras 2027 de Argentina.
Gracias, maestra Leticia. Bienvenida, Sumire. A los participantes de la sala que no hablan inglés, les pedimos por favor si pueden ir debajo a la barra que dice interpretación y buscan el idioma en el que ustedes están. Si hablan solamente español, se buscan en interpretación ahí y ahora, mientras Sumire empieza su presentación, van a escuchar la traducción que Luis hace en forma simultánea. Así que les pedimos por favor que busquen en el loguito donde dice interpretación y le damos la entrada a Sumire. Come on, Sumire.
Okay, so shall I start?
Adelante.
Okay. Okay, thank you for introducing. And I'm very excited to be here today. And actually, it's 10 o'clock at night here in Japan. So good evening here in Japan. And for those who I see a few names attending from Japan. Good evening. And for those who are in the morning section of the world, good morning, everyone. So I was introduced that I am based in Tokyo, but actually I am based in the middle of Japan, which is little away from Tokyo. And today I will share some cases. Those are based in the middle of Japan, little away from Tokyo. Okay, so let me start my presentation now. The title is Social Participation of Immigrants Through Cooperative, or New Practices and Deepening Solidarity in Cases of Japan. So let me introduce you again myself. My name is Kanda Sumire, and today I will talk about the effectiveness and potential of the cooperative approach by immigrants in local communities in Japan. And my research focuses on the social participation of immigrants through cooperatives. While much existing research has focused on immigrants' support and empowerment within multicultural social work, the perspective of subject social participation by immigrants themselves has been limited. Similarly, there is little accumulated research on how immigrants cooperate and realize social participation through the cooperative model. The purpose of this presentation is to examine the potential for immigrants' social participation based on this cooperative approach. I will first outline the landscape of foreign residents in Japan and the challenges inherent in the existing support system. Then, I will introduce the cooperative model as a powerful bottom-up framework for empowerment. Finally, I will discuss 3 specific case studies based in the middle of Japan, illustrating how this model is being put into practice. Do you see my slide? Is okay? Okay. So now my research focuses on the social participation of immigrants through cooperatives. Let's begin by looking at the context in Japan. The number of foreign residents in Japan stands at over 4 million, a figure that continues to break historical records every year. Can you hear me okay? Is it okay?
Yes, we can hear you okay.
Okay. Okay, so the number of foreign residents in Japan stands at over 4 million, a figure that continues to break historical records every year. This demographic shift is rooted in the 1990 revision of the Immigration Control and Refugee Recognition Act, Japan, which led to the substantive acceptance of immigrants, primarily Nikkei, the Japanese descendants from South America. More recently, the population has driven by those coming to Japan for study or work. So these residents are concentrated in key sectors like manufacturing, wholesale, retail, and accommodation and food services. While permanent residents remain the largest group, there's a notable increase in those holding technical intern and specified skilled worker statuses, underlining their growing importance in the labor market. However, this increase in population faces significant challenges. They are vulnerable in what we term risk society. Even those with relatively stable status, such as Nikkei people, are exposed to precarious employment and economic shocks. While local governments and civil society have engaged in support activities, Japan officially maintaining that it does not adopt an immigration policy. Consequently, essential support is largely borne by local municipalities and the private sector. Existing consultation services are often limited to minimal necessary assistance. Crucially, much of the existing support has tended to offer unnecessary assistance from the Japanese perspective. Although essential, this support can unintentionally keep immigrants in a passive role. Moreover, support lacking a stable legal foundation easily create a structure dependent on NPOs, non-professional organizations, and volunteers. This can foster exclusion or marginalization and potentially fix social hierarchies. To overcome those limitations, we need mechanisms and approaches that enable immigrants to achieve social participation through their own subjective power. The cooperative model, the cooperative model, this leads to my core proposal, cooperative model. The cooperative model offers a pathway for confronting risks through solidarity and creating social value. It is a bottom-up framework led by the people involved. A cooperative is fundamentally an autonomous organization of people established to meet the common economic, social, and cultural needs of its members. Historically, cooperatives emerged from people who were often in vulnerable positions, such as the impoverished workers in 18th century England. So this is a time-tested model for empowerment, owned and run by its members, guided by 7 principles, including democratic management, characterized by 1 member, 1 vote, and a strong concern for the community. Globally, the importance of this approach is widely recognized. The International Labour Organization, through recommendation number 193 in 2002, recognized that cooperative promotes people's participation in economic and social development. Furthermore, in 2016, the cooperative philosophy was inscribed in UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage List. The United Nations registers cooperatives as the world's largest NGO and position them as a key stakeholder for achieving the sustainable development goals. The cooperative model allows minorities to participate in society via a business entity, complementing the shortcoming of existing support. So now, let's examine 3 specific cases, starting with Cooperativa Tsuyaku, a workers' cooperative. Tsuyaku means translator or interpretation. So the background involves Brazilian community interpreters in the Tokai region, the middle of Japan, who faced a common risk and stable employment. Their primary challenge was the lack of sustainable professional training. Most of the training provided, especially in specialized areas like mental health and the education system, was designed the primary challenge was the lack of sustainable professional training. Most of the training, especially in specialized areas like mental health and the education system, was designed for Japanese speakers, marginalize their skills. They often struggle with Japanese training materials and specialized terminology. So their action began with solidarity. In 2015, they formed the Brazilian Community Interpreter Support Group to systematically acquire necessary knowledge and skills. They poured their own funds, setting an annual membership fee of 10,000 yen, which is about $100 US, to organize study sessions conducted in Portuguese, addressing topics like Artemis and Japanese education system. This demonstrates problem solving led by the people involved. So this mutual support quickly evolved into the enterprise. In November 2018, 16 members each invested 30,000 yen, which is about $300 US, to start a group in the cooperative format. 9 out of the 16 founding members were women working under precarious contract, making the pursuit of economic self-reliance pressing necessity. They felt a strong determination. The most important thing is that we Brazilian interpreters do not become socially vulnerable. Today, they offer services such as advanced workshops, translation for local governments, and creating of specialized medical dictionaries. They emphasize their role as cultural mediators who provide indispensable value by facilitating intercultural understanding, transcending mere linguistic substitution, especially in complex areas like medical or welfare consultations. A major milestone was reached in 2024, utilizing the Workers' Cooperative Act of 2022. They are now under process of formally incorporating as a Cooperativa de Workers Cooperative, thereby establishing a social position as a sustainable enterprise. Ms. Oshima, a founder, stressed that the cooperative model, where everyone is an owner and shares accountability, is key to enhancing their social status and creating stable careers for the next generation in Japan. So the second case study, Care Center Homi, was literally born from a crisis. The background is a 2008 financial crisis which led to mass unemployment among Brazilian factory workers in the Homi housing complex in Toyota City. You know that Toyota City is the base of headquarters of Toyota Motors. And Homi complex is located in Toyota City. The Homi complex has a high foreign population, 57.9%, mostly Brazilians, and rooted in the 1990 Immigration Act revision. The action taken involves strongly collaboration. In 2010, a local NPO, non-professional organization, requested existing Aichi Prefecture Senior Citizens Cooperative to create job opportunities. This collaboration led to the utilization of the Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare Fund training program to implement a caregiver training course, the Homigaoka Care Class. The result was established in 2011 of the Home Visit Care Service Care Center Homi. Graduates from diverse backgrounds, including Peru, Brazil, and Japan, they founded these services. This is a clear case of proactively creating jobs where they were needed in the community, rather than just finding them. Care Center Homi quickly became a pillar of the community. Initially, potential users were asked if they were comfortable with a foreign helper, but due to the high quality care, this inquiry is no longer necessary. The perception shifted from viewing them merely as foreign helpers to recognize them as an essential care professionals. They proactively responded to community needs, running an after-school day service for disabled children and helping residents read administrative notices. The staff, many of whom previously held unstable factory jobs, participate democratically in management and understanding that collective efforts and fair profit distribution is the work of the cooperative. They aim to build a community where everyone can live without discrimination, regardless of age, physical disability, or language. Here, I would like to share the comments from the former director of Care Center, Homi. She's from Peru. She said, all the employees know the places they worked before, had only one owner, and the money only went to a few people. They know that here in Care Center Homi, if they work hard and everyone moves into the same direction, the profit will be distributed to everyone. This is the work of the cooperative. So this is the word from the former director of Care Center Homi. So now, our final case study, RoboCoop, illustrates the adaptability of the cooperative spirit to new fields like IT. Founded by the third generation Zainichi Korean. Zainichi Korean is a long-term ethnic Korean resident in Japan, typically descendants of those who migrated during the 1910 to 1945 colonial era. They hold special permanent resident status, but often lack Japanese citizenship, facing issues of identity discrimination and historical marginalization. So, Chinese Korean third generation is the founder of this RoboCoop. So, RoboCoop
La
initiative
Universidad
targets.
Buen Vivir en Argentina. Entonces, cualquier cosa nos hablamos. ¿Sí?
Por favor, les estamos
Ándale,
pidiendo si
estamos en
pueden
contacto.
cerrar,
Buen día.
pueden cerrar sus micrófonos, por favor, porque está saliendo todo para afuera, por favor. Muchas gracias.
Can I continue?
Sí,
Okay.
continúen.
Okay. So the RoboCoop initiative targets socially isolated groups, specifically refugees and single mothers, aiming to provide training and employment in advanced IT skills, focusing on RPA development. So this is a challenge in a field vastly different from traditional interpersonal services. While RoboCoop's legal form is a general incorporated association, its operating spirit and method are fundamentally cooperative. Participants themselves invest capital and they participate democratically in the management as owners of the business. The significance here lies in the participant-led structure being the key to achieving employment that goes far beyond mere skill provision. It suggests that the cooperative model can effectively empower people from diverse and highly vulnerable backgrounds. To conclude, these cases these cases show that the cooperative model is successfully evolving from the possibility into a diverse practice for the social participation of immigrants. The core takeaway is the shift from recipient to agent. Immigrants are becoming an active agent, creating their own future and generating social value through solidarity. The cooperative model based on voluntary action and the acceptance of responsibility is unlikely to create an unbalanced relationship that can fix social hierarchies often seen in traditional support models. The future of this approach is supported by a significant legislative change. The 2022 Workers' Cooperative Act has passed in Japan. This law acts as a powerful tailwind by simplifying the establishment of workers' cooperatives. Already, over 100 worker cooperatives were established in the first year of its enforcement. This legislative shift strongly supports these emerging practices. While the cases introduced are still a minority, they represent an important symbol. They underscore the paramount importance of the bottom-up approach. The empowerment of the people involved in is absolutely key to building a truly inclusive and resilient society. Therefore, the cooperative model stands as the central strategy.
Les pedimos a las personas que recién ingresan, si por favor pueden buscarse en el loguito que está debajo, que dice interpretación, hay un mundo y ahí buscan el idioma para escuchar que está el intérprete. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Bravo, Sumire. Bravo.
Thank you,
Felicitaciones.
Claudia.
Un honor estar contigo. Estamos acá en esta hermosa sala. Gracias a Luis por la interpretación. Vamos a iniciar ahora un proceso con preguntas. Algunas ya se fueron manifestando. Así que les vamos a, a- a decir si las pueden escribir en el chat. Nos quedan media hora para esas preguntas y algunas de ellas las fuimos juntando con Leticia, fuimos uniendo, porque hay mucha similitud. O digamos que hay cosas parecidas, ¿no? Nunca podemos decir iguales, pero aquí hay muchos productores, emprendedores, emprendedoras, hay grupos y organizaciones cooperativistas, lo estoy viendo a Martín Ortega, a Rosángela, a Aarón, Néstor, muchas personas de Colombia, de Perú, de Ecuador, de México, también de Europa. Gracias, Regina, por estar, Betty Maciel es de Argentina, Ivonne, Ann, Sasaki, Sentipensante de Colombia. Entonces, una de las preguntas, Sumire, fuimos juntando, hicimos dos para estos primeros minutos. El resto de las personas sigan poniendo las preguntas en un costadito. Una tiene que ver con cuáles son las alianzas que tiene Sumire a nivel internacional para avanzar con los procesos cooperativistas, de autogestión, de asociativismo, que como vimos en la presentación, hacen frente a la crisis, pero también necesitan de alianzas, de encuentros. Y lo segundo es cuáles son los procesos de formación que tienen y qué articulaciones realizan a nivel local, a nivel regional y a nivel internacional. Así que Luis, si podés hacer esas dos preguntas. Gracias a todas y a todos por estar. Maestra Leti, ¿qué te parece?
Muy bien, me parecen excelentes las preguntas que construimos.
Para quienes recién
Te
ingresaron,
escuchamos
fíjense,
perfectamente.
tienen debajo para escuchar la traducción, buscan el globito que aparece el mundo y ahí van a buscar su idioma, porque Luis le está haciendo la traducción a Sumire para que ustedes puedan, para que ahora podamos escuchar, ¿verdad, Luis?
Sorry, I cannot hear you. Maybe I should. Okay. Okay, can you say again?
Come on. Gracias, Martín Ortega. Escribe en el chat la pregunta, porque Sumire ahora va a responder las dos primeras. ¿Puede responder, Luis, Sumire? No sé si escuchó.
Mm, Yo sí te escucho perfectamente. Ok, lo intento por el otro celular.
Sí, se escucha bien.
Está en línea, pero no me escucha. Ya le mandé por el WhatsApp en el otro teléfono.
Estás hablando y se te escucha todo, Leti.
Sí, Claudia, que si puedes sacar a Luis de la sala, por favor,
Ah, bueno, ¿por qué? ¿Qué
porque
pasó?
no lo escucha, no la escucha en Japón.
Ah, sí, sí, perfecto. Bueno,
Por
ahora,
favor.
bueno, entonces lo vamos a sacar a Luis, para que le diga a Sumire, ¿verdad? Adelante,
Sí.
Luis.
Okay, muchas gracias. Hello, once again, Sumire, we want to thank your participation here with us. Now we're going to make a specific round of question and ask, Q and ask,
Mm-hmm.
and they all are very excited to make you some questions. First of all, Claudia wants to extend you the first one in how the cooperation and organizations that you work with help to this economic sustainability, this social development, and this all companionship that we have just recently talking about. Well, you speak in this case specifically, you're going to make your phrase, maybe a line
Mm-hmm.
of sentence, and then we're going to translate to our Spanish speakers because we have
Mm-hmm.
ended the specific room. All right.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Te vuelvo a poner en la sala para que traduzcas lo que dice Sumire.
No, ahora en este caso ya como son preguntas y respuestas
Ah,
directas,
perfecto, sí, haces
le
un distinto.
trasladamos y ya que
Adelante,
efectivamente.
Sumire.
Ok.
Go on,
Okay. Can you make a question one more time? What was the question about?
yes. How through your own cooperation, how through the organization that you work with, how do you help specific cases of sustainability economy? How do you help this social environment, and how through all the help that you bring can succeed to this specific support to the University of the Well-being?
Mm, your question is how do I support these three groups?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, I do not really support them, but I the Brazilian translators workers cooperative, I work together with them, but because they are on their way to create a group as a enterprise, so legal support and I me and another Japanese, we help them to do the legal making documents. But all the organize to create an organization, they do their own. So that's the first one. And the second one, Care Center Homie, I I am like sometimes when they have a problem, they ask for help. So I go and give the advice. Or sometimes I try to connect with the Japanese society, but I do not. They do not need help. They run their own organization. Does it answer to the question?
Sí, Luis, te
Yeah,
escuchamos.
I think it does. Ok, Sumire nos comenta que específicamente no es que ella sea quien trabaja en conjunto con las organizaciones o con el Centro Especial de Apoyo a la Salud. Ella comenta que estos organismos nacen, principalmente el primero, a través de la comunidad brasileña, que es lo que previamente se mencionó como los Tuyuki. Esta comunidad brasileña generó su propia organización, su propia cooperativa, y que a través del trabajo que ellos generan es que se da un soporte a la comunidad. Comenta Sumire que su participación con esta organización es ella, junto con otro compañero japonés, dar apoyo y soporte legal para que se pueda llevar a cabo la conformación e institución de este organismo en específico. dice que realmente el crédito no es que le pertenezca a ella, sino a esta colaboración con la institución, y es propiamente la institución de los brasileños quienes están apoyando a la comunidad. Ahora hace mención que, por otro lado, el Centro de Cuidados de la Salud, HOMI, ya es un organismo que estaba previamente creado. Dice ella que la participación que genera principalmente dentro de la comunidad es más bien que la comunidad se acerca a este centro para solicitar apoyo, para solicitar consejo, y que es precisamente este organismo el que da una retribución a la comunidad. Ella menciona que el organismo no necesita una ayuda en particular, es precisamente que el organismo es la ayuda hacia la comunidad.
And let me
Martín,
add,
Martín
le-
Ortega le pregunta, Martín Ortega es de Toluca, de México, y dice que cómo observa Sumire el fenómeno de la migración hacia los Estados Unidos en este momento y las políticas de Trump desde la visión de la economía cooperativa como instrumento articulador del buen vivir de las familias migrantes. Si puedes traducirle,
Yeah.
Luis.
Okay, so Mire, specifically, Martin wants to ask you something that might be a bit controversial. He wants to know, what do you think, how do you observe this phenomenon of the migration in the United States, and how these waves of politics presented by Donald Trump are affecting these cooperatives? He wants, Martin wants to know, what do you think about this specific organism and institutions that are helping migration through the United States, helping this specific system of promotion and social cooperativity?
okay. Um, I do not have an answer to your question. So instead of answer to your question, why don't I share the situation in Japan? Because Japan, with our new Prime Minister, Takaichi, she is very similar to, in some part, similar way to Donald Trump. And recently, our immigration policy has been became very strict, and many migrants in Japan, especially for those who are unstable status, are very worried, and some of the migrants who has been unstable, they started to prepare to leave Japan because of the policy has been changing drastically in last half a year. And however, especially for the Brazilian interpretation cooperative and also care center HOMI, because they are from Brazil and Peru, they discussed this topic recently more and more, and they send a message to the community that we need the solidarity and we need more to help each other. But because the foreign nationals, they do not have the political participation rights, so they are seeking the way to bring the voice to the government in the cooperative way.
Okay, thank you, Sumire. Now I'm going to translate them so then they can keep all of your response. Martín, ella comenta que particularmente no puede darte una respuesta directa de qué es lo que está sucediendo en Estados Unidos, ya que ella no tiene una percepción completa. Lo que sí puede hablarte es lo que está sucediendo en Japón, ya que desde la entrada en vigor de su nuevo primer ministro, de nombre el caballero llamado Tsukiichi, este personaje tiene ciertas particularidades que pueden asemejarse al diálogo que guarda Donald Trump dentro de sus discursos, además de que ha generado pequeñas reformas dentro de las políticas migratorias que se encuentran en Japón. Ahora, Takaichi menciona que recientemente generó una política más estricta y que hoy por hoy, especialmente aquellos que tienen un estatus inestable, se encuentran preocupados, más aún porque no tienen algo que les generice un respaldo. Por eso es que a través del organismo y a través de las instituciones están preparándose para que las personas no dejen el país. A través de este diálogo, las personas están pensando que en el periodo no mayor a 6 meses tendrán que abandonar la nación. A través del instituto y a través de la cooperativa buscan que se pueda generar un estatus de seguridad, que no se genere un sentimiento de inestabilidad, que se pueda generar también una preparación a las personas. Aún así, especialmente para la comunidad de brasileños y la cooperatividad que estábamos mencionando previamente, pues estos ya generaron diálogos, ya generaron una iniciativa de discusión a través del tema y que una vez más están mandando el mensaje a través de la comunidad. Así se puede generar un mensaje no únicamente de cooperación, sino mantenerse de forma solidaria y que se puedan apoyar entre todos. A través de esto es importante recordar que a través de las cooperativas no es que se genere solamente un diálogo, sino que la cooperativa busca dar la voz del gobierno para la comunidad.
Muchas gracias, Luis. Acá nos dejó un mensaje nuestro compañero de la Universidad del Buen Vivir, Eric González. Él es también de una organización que se llama Sentipensante TV. Como era muy larga la pregunta, le hicimos la traducción a la maestra Sumire, se la pasamos en inglés, pero la saluda, reciba un saludo fraterno y queremos honrar su palabra, nos dice Eric, en este contexto desafiante, y hablar desde la territorialidad espiritual que logra germinar desde el hipercapitalismo. La pregunta, en este tejido proponen los migrantes dos inquietudes, pregunta Eric. Uno, ¿cómo dialogan esas economías originarias o populares como el apoyo mutuo tradicional japonés a los sistemas de ahorro comunitario con la realidad del mercado actual? Y dos, en la búsqueda de una soberanía narrativa, ¿de qué manera están comunicando sus propias verdades y afectos? Gracias. También la maestra lo tiene en inglés en su WhatsApp.
De acuerdo, si gustan, quieren mandársela en inglés tal cual, o no sé si quieren mandármela, se la
Yo ya
leo.
se la mandé. Hay que
Yeah,
decirle a la
excelente.
maestra si por favor puede responder.
Okay. Sumire, they say that they have sent to you and through WhatsApp or their chat and a specific question that might be a bit too specific. So they send you already translated in English to your chat. If you can check it, read it, and please answer to us, we will thank it.
Okay, let me first read it and I will answer to the question. Okay. Oh, this is a very difficult question. Okay. So the first question is how the traditional Japanese way of helping each other and modern Japanese modern economic market. How do we deal with it? Is that right? Yeah, it's a very interesting question. Traditionally we have a long history of our culture to helping each other in many systems. In Japanese, we call it ko. Like we in the the local area, the people bring the money together and they try to help like financially to each other when they need help. Or the farmers, they help each other in the busy season. That's a tradition of way of Japanese helping each other. But recently the economic system has changed, and we all live in a very isolated society, and we discuss so much about how can we connect to each other, not only helping each other, but we need to create a community, and we need to connect to people, not only through the economic way, but I think that cooperative is one of the good system to find a connection through economic way. And yeah, sorry, it's not a perfect question, but that's the answer to the first question. And second question, the question is about immigrants. Is that right? The second question. How the migrants, the foreigners in Japan, raise their voice. It's very difficult to do that in Japan because they do not have the political participation, right? But again, similar to the cooperative way, many Brazilian Peruvians and like Filipinos, they know more about cooperatives than Japanese people. So they help each other and they try to connect to each other and they bring their voices, but in informal way, not the formal way. But they create their own community and they create their own media in informal way to bring their voices to the Japanese community. But still, it's very weak, and they are still in the vulnerable places. Yeah. So yeah, wait, does it make sense?
Yeah, to me it makes sense. I think it's a great response. So now I'm going to translate it, and I want to say that it is important what you have just said, not just because you took your time to interpret those questions, but to make a reflection about what is going on. Así que muy bien, ahora en este caso en particular vamos a hacer la traducción de la pregunta. Sumire comenta que es una pregunta, fueron un par de preguntas especiales que no le apena decir que son difíciles, porque son aquellas que generan una propia reflexión. Muy bien, primero que nada, ella quiere mencionar que la territorialidad espiritual que surge dentro del hipercapitalismo, propuesto por los dos inmigrantes, más bien propuesto por los inmigrantes que llegan a este territorio japonés, es un tema curioso de abordar, principalmente porque Japón tiene una historia larga que tradicionalmente ha buscado apoyar a través de diferentes sistemas. Ella comenta que dentro de la comunidad japonesa guardan diferentes formas de apoyarse. A este apoyo dentro de la comunidad le llaman hou, el cual significa que dentro de la área local cada uno de los residentes trae un dinero y que en conjunto, a través de esta recaudación, buscan apoyar a todos de la comunidad. Se genera una recolección y de esta recolección, a través de proyectos o de apoyos particulares, se genera una retribución. Y también menciona un caso específico a través de los granjeros, quienes tienen la temporada de cosecha y que a través de esa temporada de la cosecha, todas las comunidades buscan apoyar de granjeros a la comunidad, de granjeros a la sociedad. Ahora, Con respecto al sistema económico, este ha cambiado a través de los años, ya que todos viven en una sociedad muy asolada hoy por hoy. Japón, a la fecha, es un país no apático, pero sí asolado. Se está perdiendo ese sentimiento de comunidad. Por lo tanto, ellos buscan no solamente el apoyo, no niega que haya apoyo dentro de la comunidad japonesa. Lo que se necesita es ahora generar la conexión. Ella comenta que no solamente a través de los apoyos, sino a través de la conexión, a través de su sector, buscan generar una forma económica. Esto a través del sentimiento de la cooperatividad, a través de los organismos, de las instituciones y de las cooperativas que ya tienen. Sumise comenta que ella cree que es una gran forma de ayudar dentro del sector económico lo que están realizando. Los institutos, las cooperativas buscan generar un apoyo. No es solamente algo que se pueda generar dentro de la conectividad. Ella comenta con respecto a la segunda pregunta que, si bien ella cree que no es una respuesta perfecta la que nos está ofertando, es la respuesta que nos puede dar a nosotros. Ella comenta con respecto que es difícil realizar en Japón porque las personas, los migrantes, no tienen una voz política verdadera que podamos reconocer. Sobre la segunda pregunta en cómo las pequeñas voces de los migrantes, cómo se ven presentes dentro de Japón, comenta que malamente no es que se vean presentes o no, no se tiene esta voz política, pero porque no se guarda el derecho. Ella comenta que no es a la negativa, al contrario, hay comunidades brasileñas, hay comunidades de filipinos que ya se encuentran buscando la promoción de la voz que generan. Esto siempre respetando el marco legal y las formalidades de los organismos. Comenta que los filipinos y los japoneses todos buscan apoyar localmente desde la forma formal a través de los medios y que buscan llevar sus voces en la comunidad aun cuando estas voces hoy son pequeñas. Ella cree que estas comunidades a través de las cooperativas y de los organismos genuinamente, eventualmente, van a generar un ruido dentro de la comunidad.
Muchísimas gracias, Sumire. Ha sido para nosotras y para nosotros muy importante este encuentro, muy gratificante de muchos aprendizajes. La maestra Leti, gracias Carla por estar. Hay muchos compañeras y compañeros que vienen de distintas partes. Agradecemos a Eric, que es de Senti Pensante TV, que está con su hijita también. Y la maestra Leticia va a dar unas palabras finales para este encuentro y nosotros agradecer a Sonia, Rosángela, Ivonne, Ann, Benicio, Carla, Sandra, Néstor, Martín, José, Regina, Cubot, Betty, Celeste, a todas las compañeras y compañeras de distintas partes del mundo. Gracias, Sandra, por estar, por acompañarnos. Así que adelante, Leti.
Bueno, pues antes que nada, el agradecimiento a todos los que se encuentran conectados y a la maestra en Japón decirle que las cooperativas a nivel global coinciden con muchos valores, principios y valores cooperativos que son globales y que nos da mucho gusto saber que la migración en Japón es economía, así como en otros países, en todos los países del mundo, y que le dan una acogida amorosa y de apoyo a los migrantes que se sienten, pues, a lo mejor no en su país, pero sí cobijados por por esa gran cultura japonesa. Y felicitarla por el trabajo que hace cooperando con esa institución brasileña. Yo con eso, pues, termino y les pido que sigamos construyendo a nivel global el buen vivir, que no hay ni color ni raza que nos impida hacerlo y que pues todos somos uno. Y con mucho amor y un abrazo a todo el mundo, estoy a sus órdenes. Igual, soy cooperativista de 20 años. Gracias.
Sumire, nosotros vamos a ir con estas iniciativas que estamos haciendo desde la Cátedra Global a África, estaremos en Benin ahora en agosto. También estaremos en el Foro Social Mundial de Economías Transformadoras de México y el año que viene en el de Argentina. Así que esperamos seguir contigo y en estas conversaciones globales.
Así es. La invitación al Preforo México con miras a Jujuy en noviembre. Están, pues ya todos somos parte y invitamos a la maestra con mucho cariño.
Ok, ahora le traduzco a Sumire. El diálogo que se presentó,
Gracias.
muy bello, por cierto. Sumire, for you to understand what have just been said, they want to tell you specifically that for us, it's really important this encounter that has just been presented, and we want to thank you, really give you amazing thanks, because we're really grateful for everything you have just said, for this knowledge that has been shared. Letty, Carla, all of our co-workers and collaboration wants to say that even though they come from this distant and faraway part of the world, they want to present a special thanks to you and all the people has been presented here in this day. She wants to say that for a final word, everyone and each of the person of people who was presented today, who was present this day, is a big part of the world. One of them is you. And a special thanks to the teacher, you in this case, Sumire Kanda, because all of this work that you make through cooperativity is not just helping Japan, it's helping the whole world by sharing your knowledge, sharing your work, sharing everything that you have just been made. It not just inspires, but also make us have more specific ways, have more knowledge in how to help each other in a collaborativity way. They want to say that these ideas and global values are really helping this kind of situation through the migrants presented in Japan. They want to say that it is admirable that you help not just in a personal way, but through gaining economic health, to gaining economic support through these organizations. They want to say that we are really inspired and we are amazed on how your culture, the Japanese culture, are not just embracing the whole situation, but giving a big hug and receivement to those who are Aborigines immigrants, for those who may feel or have the feeling that they not belong to your community, but eventually they will be. They will be part of the community thanks to everything that you have been doing. They want to say that congratulations for everything that you have been made. Congratulations for the work you do. And they want to make a specific request in which we can build a new global system, a new global idea of the well-being, a new collaboration when each day is going to prevent making a segregation, but furthermore helping this idea of community. They want to say, Leticia wants to say that she is a cooperativist with a 20 years of experience. So she knows what you do. She knows that daily experience that you have going on. We want to remember that there's no race, there's no tone skin, there's no way that we can be divided. We all are one. We're one world, we're one community. And Sumire, they want to tell you that thanks to all of your initiatives, they want to invite you and they want to present these initiatives in the global speaking. They are telling you that they will be presented in Benin this August. They're going to be part of the Social Global Economies Forum in a transformative way in Mexico this year in November, and the next year they're going to be present in Argentina. Once again, they want to extend you this invitation to the pre-forum in Mexico, who is most to be situated in Jujuy this November. So without further more to say, once again, thank you very much for everything.
Thank you so much for the wonderful message and inspiration. And I would love to join the one in Mexico and Argentina. And thank you for all the interesting question. But those are very they really inspired me and made me think about how Japan used to be and what we lost and what we gained and what we have to aim for. But thank you very much for the fruitful time. Thank you.
Gracias, Luis Sabina, por toda la traducción que hiciste. Gracias por tu profesionalismo y por ser tan solidario con la Universidad del Buen Vivir. Vaya un aplauso para la maestra Sumire y para todas y todos nosotros. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you. And thank you for wonderful translation.